wonder what it's all about. That's love. Oh, that's love. That's love. That's when you think you're on solid ground. Just a word and you're upside down. That's love. Oh, that's love. That's love. That's love.
Said it umpteen times already, Patsy, but that was a lovely meal, lovely. Crab pate with melon balls.
That was so original last year. When I gave the recipe to
Whatever its name, it was perfect, like everything. Not too heavy, not stodgy at all, but really filling. I'm absolutely just right. Even my sciatica stopped playing up. You're full, aren't you, Brian?
Stuff. The point is, Shirley, you're not supposed to feel too full. It was nouvelle cuisine.
Dear. Well, it was lovely anyway. I'm only sort of full. I mean, I'm not hungry.
Small portions, delicate flavours, exquisitely presented. That's the idea.
I see. Well, it was lovely.
Well, I managed to fill up on bread.
You were a lucky boy, Donald, marrying Patsy. I've always said so, even with small portions.
So have I, Shirley.
No, I mean it, Patsy.
You were nouvelle cuisine, weren't you? Small portions, delicate flavour, and exquisitely presented.
You'd only met bangers and mash before me. Fried buckets after the wedding, losing Donald. Oh, it was a lovely reception you gave, Victor.
Was it?
Did you cry, Pat?
Well, I suppose just a little blub. Didn't I, Victor?
Did you?
Yes, in the taxi going home, you remember?
Of course not. I was plastered by then.
Every time you four come for dinner, we get onto the same old reminiscence, the wedding day. Shall I get the photos out?
God preserve us.
Well, you two is all we four have in common, really, isn't it?
Yes, it's a shame. You know, you four ought to see more of each other, make friends.
Yes, well, good idea.
We're friends already, aren't we?
Yes, well, Zoe and Matthew, we've got them in common. Our joint grandchildren.
Oh, good. Now we can move on to the christenings.
I remember Babs was so put out because she'd become a grandmother. Was I?
Now, I do remember that.
Now they're so big you can both fly off on holiday next week and leave them behind. It's amazing, isn't it?
Well, we did have a holiday with them earlier this year, Mum. Now we're having a week on our own.
Olive and the two of them are going to have a wonderful week without us. Yeah, I didn't mean to. No, of course not.
No, this is why they couldn't have come and stayed with us.
God forbid.
Well, then Olive would have thought I didn't trust her.
I didn't hear you making any offers there, Dad.
Well, grandchildren are like medicine. Good for you in small doses.
Brian's right, Babs. They'd wear you out, old fogies like us. I'm sure they'd be better off with Olive. She's fun and the right age. And reliable. Oh, yes, reliable too. Very reliable. Come in. Hi. Sorry, everyone. I left my dress book in here. I had it by the phone and funny. No, where? You did have it by the phone in the kitchen earlier this evening because you were talking to Dominic. Oh, yes, of course. Daft. I'm good. Must be love, sorry. It's all right. I'd lose my head if it wasn't screwed on. If you try and score points out of that little incident, I shall throw you out of the window, Mother.
She's obviously more reliable than your children's doddering old grandparents.
I do like Olive, don't you, Victor? So pretty and bright. Lovely smile. Make someone a lovely wife.
Yes.
Suppose this jaunt turns out to be longer than a week. Can Olive still cope then?
Of course she can.
It won't be any longer.
Well, you never know. There are such things as accidents. Broken limbs, sunburn, frostbite.
People driving on the wrong side of the road.
That would be very dangerous. I remember once in Paris, I stepped out in front of... Victor just caught me in time.
I wasn't thinking.
Babs, whichever one of us is lucky enough to be spared will come tearing back here in 7 days.
And the children are staying here with Olive.
Supposing you were both killed together at once, or the plane was hijacked. With Flying Air Greenland, Mother, no one hijacks that. They can still crash, presumably.
No, they don't get up high enough.
Incidentally, what would happen then? When? If you were killed, leaving the children. Presumably Olive wouldn't just go on looking after them indefinitely until they reach their majority.
Well, if Donald or I were killed, then, well, we'd both quite simply left everything to each other.
Evidence, I mean, killed both together at once.
The fact is, Babs, that whenever we try to consider the possibility of us both being dead together at once, and then try to consider the kids rationally, well, we've both got so upset that we've never been able to reach a conclusion. And oh, look, it's so unlikely. I mean,
Oh, that's lovely. I knew you both loved each other, but isn't that lovely, Brian?
Well, I think it is a bit, well, I mean, you really ought to take care of these things, Donald. It's not like you.
I know.
A bit? It's not a bit anything. It's grossly irresponsible. What about all the times you're driving together without them? I mean, motorway pile-ups.
Mother, will you stop going on about our squashed, bleeding corpses?
It's not just squeamishness, is it? There's something else.
no.
I know you two. You wouldn't put off something so vital to your children unless...
My God, Babs, even we can be human sometimes, you know.
All right, then. When will you do it?
Soon.
When you get back?
Yes.
Exactly. Meanwhile, you're flying together at once, practically infested.
Thought it was only boys who could be infested.
Perhaps you better write a little unofficial letter to me, covering the matter temporarily. Then if anything did happen to you both, I can take over smoothly without any legal obstructions.
If you'd like to drop me a note too, Donald, I'll arrange to dispose of your bodies. Assuming there's anything left to dispose of course.
It is all very well done, but this could be a serious business.
Yes, you're absolutely right, Babs. Well, I was wondering, wouldn't Zoe and Matthew like it better with more children of their own age if anything happened to you two?
You mean an orphanage?
No. I was thinking about those friends of yours, Gary and Amanda, with their 4. They'd be an ideal alternative family.
Over my dead body.
Well, yes.
God, no, even Mummy'd be better than...
That's bad, eh?
Well, of course, to have any of one's friends bringing up one's children is too distressing. But we're their flesh and blood, kith and kin.
Quite right, Babs. What shall we do then? Toss for 'em? Heads it's you and Victor, tails it's me and Shirley.
Dear Brian, so mischievous. Now, surely in law there can be no doubt. The mother always takes precedence, so the mother's parents...
Actually, Babs, in law, no one takes precedence. A judge would have to decide which one of you would, you know...
I'd fight for them through every court in the land.
Oh, God preserve us. Now, look, you will be careful, you two, won't you? I mean, couldn't one of you fly Air Chad or something?
Perfectly simple, Donald dear. We 4 are your next of kin. And Shirley has already said she doesn't want them, so that leaves me.
Did I say I didn't want them?
Yes. Earlier.
Well, if it was a question of Patsy and Donald being dead and leaving them to someone, well, of course I'd take them. Wouldn't I just?
That's very kind of you, Shirley. Really noble. But you mustn't sacrifice yourself like that. And with your sciatica, too. The medical complications could be catastrophic for you.
Yes, you're practically falling apart, you poor old thing.
I'm no older than she is.
It's not so much a matter of age, Shirley, dear, as, well, condition.
Well, if you've got to be in condition, that rules all of us out, doesn't it? Yes. Looks like Dr. Bernardo's for the poor little sod.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear, excuse me.
You all right?
Oh, I'm sorry, yes. I'm sorry, Patsy. It's my tummy. Something awful's going on. Oh, great. Oh, dear. Oh, goodness. Oh, well, I better go and see if I can...
Yeah.
Ow! Oh, I've got it too. Oh, I'm good.
Dear. Well, Shirley did eat rather more than the rest of us.
Yeah, I think I'd better just pop out for a second. I've not been feeling too good for some time now.
More me. I didn't like to say anything before, but my stomach's churning.
It's the mousseline of crab. It must be. Thank goodness I never touched shellfish. How are you?
Anaesthetised.
Now, Dad, come on. If Mum's gone upstairs and Patsy's gone down, I think we'd better go into the garden.
Well, seems Patsy's wonderful cooking has made a clean sweep of all. Poor Shirley. Hmm? Survival of the fittest. Lovely, gentle stuff. I always kept it when Patsy was little. Used to settle her stomach in no time.
No, that's no good. Really? I'm doing them a glass of warm, salty water each.
Oh, that'll make them sicker than ever.
That's the idea.
Are you mad?
They've all been poisoned by that crab. We've got to get it all up, or it could be hospitals and stomach pumps and things.
Oh, how revolting. Surely it's something just to settle them down a bit.
The worst possible thing. The one you should worry about is your husband.
But he's fine.
He's eaten the crab but doesn't feel ill. If he's ingested something toxic and it gets into his bloodstream, he will be ill. Really ill. Can't you go in there and make him sick?
Beg your pardon?
Try this. Oh, Shirley. I feel awful. Absolutely awful.
So do I.
No, I mean about poisoning you all like this.
Patsy, dear, it was a lovely meal, lovely.
Here you are, you two. Drinks time. A nice glass of warm, salty water each. Oh, sorry. You've got to. Medicinal. How's the tummy?
Still writhing about.
That's all got to come up. It's either this or hospital.
Well, if you're a little gem.
Patsy? I think I brought most of mine up. Let's make sure. I didn't eat much. I was in and out of the kitchen. I left most of my crab on my plate. Excellent. We'll keep that for laboratory analysis if necessary. No, we won't. It's all gone. You didn't give any to the kitten, did you? No, it's all right. Donald ate it.
Oh, God. It's funny, I feel as though I've been turned inside out.
It's you being a lawyer.
Oh, yes. Hilarious.
Just think what fun you're going to have. Suing the fishmonger.
Donald? Brian? You there?
What do you want?
Nice glass of warm, salty water for you both.
Oh,
Can help you to throw up.
I don't need any help.
You better come back in a minute.
What for?
When that crab gets into your bowel, you're going to need the indoor facilities urgently.
Sure, I wish I had a point.
I have been ordered to come in here and make you sick. Well?
You're 35 years too late.
I think I've finished now. I only had 6 spoonfuls of that crab mousse.
How on earth do you know that?
Well, I counted them all in and I counted them all out. Thing. Do you feel well enough to concentrate for a minute?
What on?
Well, your children. We were discussing them downstairs before retribution struck.
Oh, don't. I invite you all over to dinner and poison you. Lucretia Borgia couldn't have done better.
You've beaten her. She only poisoned the guests. You've got everyone.
Except my mother. There's no justice.
All right. Put whiskey in it if you must, but it's not supposed to taste better.
Well, you were obviously determined that your mother wouldn't have the children if you and Donald were, you know, and she was obviously determined that she would. So I thought if I put in my 2 pence, it'd let you off the hook while Babs and I argued about it.
Thank you, Shirley.
So you see, you've no need to worry about my feelings.
Oh, Shirley, don't.
What?
Well, I don't know which is the worst pressure, you saying you won't be hurt, or Mother saying she'll fight through every court in the land.
Don't complicate things. You've both just got to make up your own minds.
I know. It's just, Donald and I keep going round and round in circles.
Don't think you can lie to your mother either.
No. No, of course not.
Did I hit the nail on the head?
Well, I did think of that, the easy way out. I mean, pretend I'm going to leave them to her and then do something else. After all, I won't be here to listen to the screams of rage, so why worry?
See, that's too cruel. I mean, we're talking about the double death of you and Donald. We'd all be heartbroken, especially your mother. Then in the middle of her grief, she learns you've done that too. Oh, you couldn't. She'd need a straitjacket.
Oh, she is impossible. Honestly, she's got her claws into me beyond the grave. It's not fair. I mean, I'm not doing anything to her. I'm just trying to do something for my children. Why should I feel guilty?
You're very like her, you know.
What?
Positive and passionate. It's lovely to see.
Like her? Oh, God.
You wouldn't let it all get bottled up and frustrated like she has. There she is, full of life, full of love. And it's all been put into premature retirement. You see, men retire when they're 65, and women retire when their children are grown up. Then the men die, and we're left on our own. Nature's very harsh sometimes. Armies of old women, all over the country without men, in coaches, getting out, doing things, enjoying themselves. It's really only their men and their children that they want, that's all. You don't believe me? You go and ask them.
We've never really talked much before, have we?
Shame you had to poison us to do it.
I've always known I was fond of you, though, ever since I met you. Now I know why.
Your mother loves you, you know. That's pretty good. She's a wonderful woman underneath.
I want you to have Zoe and Matthew.
What?
Yes. If something happens to Donald and me, I want my children to learn from you what love is in a way I never did.
Patsy, you mustn't say that.
Go on. Will you have them?
How are the patients?
The melon balls are coming back again. Excuse me.
What a wonderful woman. Wonderful. Shame about Brian.
What about him?
Hasn't she said?
No.
His heart. Very dicky. He daren't take the slightest strain, you know. Don't mention it, though. She asked me to keep it dark.
8. Come on, Brian, get right down there. 8.
You just said 8.
I'll say it again if you don't get down there. That's better. 9 and 10. Right, stand up. You both okay? There's the sink if you need it.
I think so. I can't tell, I'm too dizzy.
Well, if that didn't make you ill again, you've probably finished. Okay. Victor, will you take them into the sitting room and give them a small brandy each, and I'll see how Patsy and Shirley are. A small one, mind.
Oh, don't worry, I'll pour myself the large one.
Why aren't you ill, for goodness sake?
The crab wasn't born who dare to disturb the ecological balance of my innards.
Hello, young lady. And what are you doing out of bed?
Nightmare.
Oh, a nasty one.
Better down here in the light, isn't it? Drink of water, eh?
It's okay, I'll get it.
Patsy's still too shaky to see her.
We've all been having nightmares too, sweetheart. All of us.
Yes. Your mummy's poisoned us all.
Are you going to die?
Yet.
When?
I'll send you a letter when I know.
You won't forget, will you?
I promised her my watch when I die. We were playing with it earlier.
I don't want it yet, Granddad.
You can't have it yet.
I hope.
There you are. Drink that slowly. Plenty of sugar.
Thanks.
And you'll all be as right as rain in the morning.
Thanks very much.
Olive, dear.
I must say, Patsy, dinner at your place is full of incident.
Don't I feel so ashamed?
Family conference, followed by interior scouring, followed by physical jerks. Next time I'll stay at home and watch the telly.
By the way, which of us is stuck with the grandchildren when you two snuff it next week?
I think it's a bit late to talk about that now, don't you?
I just wondered who'd won, you or Shirley.
One? What an expression. Patsy and I've come to an understanding, that's all.
Have we?
Yes, do you remember? Just before the last time you were, you know.
Anything I said then does not constitute a contract.
But Pat...
Anything anybody has said does not constitute a contract. I've settled the whole matter.
But Patsy's their mother.
And I'm their father.
Patsy.
If Donald says he's done it, Mummy, what can I do?
Look, it isn't what Babs wants or what Mum wants. It's what's best for the children.
Yes.
Well, of course.
And there's only one person for them. Olive.
Olive.
Good idea.
It's obvious. She copes so well with everything. Even us. The children adore her and they can stay here in their home.
But have you asked her, Donald?
Yeah.
But Olive has her own life to lead.
She'll have a wonderful dowry. I'm insured up to the ears for the kids, so is Patsy. Then there's this house. She and Dominic can have 2 of their own and 2 ready-made ones, all paid for. They can even afford their own nanny. Almost seems selfish of me and Patty to go on living, really, doesn't it? So what do you say, darling? Suicide pact?
We'd lose the insurance.
So we would.
Now, just a minute.
No, Babs. It's decided. Too late, that's it.
Patsy, if Donald says...
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.
Drive carefully. Bye-bye.
You clever old thing. So you thought of Olive and tackled her.
That's right.
And she said yes.
No.
What?
She said no. She said that she was moved and honoured and flattered and grateful and that she loved them, but she couldn't do it to Dominic. They had to start afresh, own lives.
Well, of course they must. But what are we going to do?
Haven't the faintest idea.
Next Wednesday at the same time, Donald makes a major decision without consulting Patsy, which proves a big mistake. Stay with us next tonight when a top-secret tape, menacing men in grey suits, and dry humour surround the mystery of the Beiderbecke tapes starring James Bolam and Barbara Flynn next.